Here's another common question that people ask a lot. Which sign language should I learn? Good question, because what people don't realize is that there are hundreds of sign languages. What? You mean there isn't a universal sign language? Oh, why should I bother? Not that old stuff again. I've talked about it in the description. You can check that out. But the fact that you are asking that question will suggest that you're curious about it and you know that there are so many out there. In fact, there are hundreds of sign languages out there. So it's quite difficult then to work out which one to pick. So which one should I choose to learn? Think about the main reasons why you would want to learn sign language in the first place. There could be 3 things. Maybe there are more. You can let me know in a comment. But one reason, it could be because you want to communicate with deaf people. And that doesn't mean that you want to communicate with strangers or people you don't know. Even maybe a family member or friend, someone you know that communicates only via sign language, and you want to communicate with them. Maybe you want to do some volunteer work, or maybe you want to train to be an interpreter. Then it makes sense to learn sign language. Maybe you also want to learn about the deaf culture, the deaf community, deaf history, which really should be part of your learning process. You want to make sure that you take all of those on board because they are so important when you are learning sign language. So it makes sense when you think about all of these aspects, then you would learn a sign language that suits you. And personally, I think you should learn the sign language that is native to your local area. So whatever they're choosing in your local area, the local deaf community, and it's by native as well, that's what you learn. That's the best thing to learn for you, because then you'll be able to practice with them, you'll be able to meet with them, you're able to communicate with them face to face and collaborate with them and build a relationship with them. You can do that face to face and in person. I know you can do it online with other people around the world, but really, why not just start with the local one first? And then maybe if you want to learn more, build it from there. But I think you can focus there and you can kind of build a connection with your local community. And that's the best way to do it. Just think about the oral languages in general that we are familiar with, the French and Spanish and Mandarin. It makes sense to learn whatever one that you are interested in. That's fair enough. And people tend to learn languages that are from other side of the world, which, okay, it could work. Maybe you have someone local that you can practice with. But this is the thing. You need to practice to get better. It's impossible to be good at languages if you don't practice it. Take it from me. I know I've learned a few, and it is the best way to learn. With someone you can practice with who is a native, not just some fun novelty person who learned the basic or learned it from watching videos and that's it. No, I'm talking about native signers in your local area. And that applies to any languages, and it just makes sense to do that. And even more important, then you'll be able to pick up local dialects because they're very difficult to learn online from resources and stuff like that. It's good to be able to learn local dialects. And even for me, the fact that right now I'm learning BSL, British Sign Language, I know that there are certain dialects here in Scotland, even in Edinburgh, that people in other parts of UK will not understand. But that's okay. That is the local dialect that I want to learn, and then gradually learn about the rest of the UK as well. And that applies to you. You could be in somewhere like the US, and if you're learning American Sign Language, you will have dialects that will make sense in one part of the US, and then it makes something different in the other part of the US. And that's just like any languages in the world. Doesn't matter what language you choose. So expect that with sign language as well. The most important thing to do when you are learning sign language is to learn it from the right people and learn it for the right reason. Don't learn it because you want some social clout and you want some kind of social media engagement and you want to look cool or you want to sing songs and do the fun stuff. No. Think about what is the purpose of a sign language. It is there to help communicate with deaf people. Makes sense, right? Common sense. But unfortunately, we still live in a time where people are doing it for the fun, for the clouts, and just to get those likes and engagement on social media. And it's such a shame that people are doing that because they are completely missing the point. and that's not the way to do it. And that also applies to the way you are learning it. If you're learning from those who are also beginners or just doing it for fun, if you learn it from them, then you are at great risk of creating more oppression, which is that, first of all, you're not learning from the right sources, people who know the language very well. Second of all, you are at great risk of learning incorrect signs, which means that it will spread even more and it will oppress sign language and deaf people even more. So make sure you learn from the right people and the right resources. Check your local deaf community, local people in your area, and go from there. You can't go wrong. As long as you do that and you just do the right thing, and also don't pick the easiest sign language to learn, which by the way doesn't exist. It's great to hear that you want to learn, and I hope you will go on that journey. Let me know what you think. Let me know what sign language are you looking to learn in the comments. I'd love to hear from you, and maybe we can go on that journey together, because I'm on that journey and it is a really fun journey. It's really fun to learn sign languages, and it's something that I think everyone should learn, at least the basic stuff. Learn the very basic and then build it from there, and I think it's something that everyone will benefit from in the long term. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure you scroll down below and click on the like button if you like this video, and also hit the subscribe button. It would really mean a lot to me. In the meantime, I will speak to you again soon. Take care.